Welcome back and Happy New Year. This is iPulse Live for January 17th, 2025. As we begin this new semester, we are excited to bring you the latest news and updates. I'm Delaney Smith.
And I'm Allison Wallace. It's great to have you with us. California authorities have reported making progress in containing multiple fires. However, some residents are struggling to find a home base to begin their recovery. My co-anchor, Delaney Smith, has more details.
The historically destructive Palisades fire, nearly a quarter contained as of midday yesterday, with fire crews making ground. 3 other blazes now between half and total containment as monitored by CAL FIRE. Not as contained, rising frustrations among many fire victims who want access into their devastated communities.
The repopulation of residents in the evacuation order areas will not occur for at least 1 more week for the areas that are deemed safe.
The U.S. EPA has been tasked by FEMA to conduct Phase 1 household hazardous materials removal in the burn footprint. We are beginning this work today.
Some have made it back to the ashes of their homes.
It's just gone. Everything is just gone.
This Altadena family, like so many others, scrambling to find affordable temporary housing.
These rentals literally cost twice as more than my mortgage. What?
Airbnb and a number of large hotel chains in the region are now offering displaced residents low or no charge accommodations. California's governor signed an executive order yesterday allowing mobile and manufactured homes and RVs to be used as housing outside of designated mobile and RV parks during rebuilding. A potential path forward for those left with nothing but hope. I'm Delaney Smith for iPulse TV News.
Last Sunday, the Lynn community gathered to honor the lives of 4 students and 2 faculty members who tragically lost their lives in the 2010 Haiti earthquake. The ceremony reflected on their mission of hope and humanitarian service, which continues to inspire others 15 years later. Roy Cuevas reports.
On Sunday, January 12th, faculty, staff, students, and families gathered to remember the lives of 4 students and 2 faculty members lost during the Haiti earthquake in 2010. 15 years ago, a group of Lynn students and 2 professors traveled to Haiti as part of the Journey of Hope course, dedicated to humanitarian service. Their mission was to serve the poor and bring hope to those in need. But their work was tragically cut short on January 12, 2010, when a 7.0 magnitude earthquake struck Port-au-Prince.
Please join me in a moment of silence as we remember Lynn students Stephanie Crispinelli, Brittany Gengel, Christine Genicasi, and Courtney Hayes, and Lynn faculty members Dr. Patrick Hartwig and Dr. Richard Bruno, and all those who were lost exactly 15 years ago today. This Remembrance Plaza ensures the stories of our students and professors and the journey of hope will remain with us always. Many of you never had an opportunity to meet these remarkable 6 individuals, but you know their story through this memorial, which stands not only to remind us of their service, but also to inspire us as well.
Today, their memory lives on in a special memorial on campus. Each year, the Lynn community gathers to reflect, remember, and honor their legacy of hope and compassion.
As the nation prepares for a historic moment, former President Donald Trump is set to be inaugurated for a 2nd term in office. Let's take a closer look at the event leading up to this milestone. Here's reporter Swanson Gibson Jr.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
the
office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
We are now just a few days away from President-elect Donald Trump moving back into the White House as the 47th President of the United States. This Martin Luther King Jr. holiday will also serve as Inauguration Day for Trump and Vice President-elect J.D. Vance. The formal ceremony is set to take place in Washington, D.C., with 250,000 attendees expected to witness this transition of power. Security is always of the utmost importance regarding presidential inaugurations. This time around, there is a heightened need for security measures, considering Trump was narrowly assassinated in Pennsylvania back in July of 2024. In a public briefing earlier this week, D.C. and federal law enforcement presented the security measures taken.
Additional fencing and concrete barriers will supplement the fencing already around the Capitol for the election certification and President Carter's funeral. More than 30 miles of anti-scale fence will be used for the inauguration, more than any other NSSE ever before.
The festivities will begin on Monday at 9:30 a.m. with a church service, tea at the White House, and musical performances on the agenda. 8-time Grammy Award-winning artist Carrie Underwood is set to perform America the Beautiful on the west lawn of the U.S. Capitol building. Reporting for iPulse News, I'm Swanson Gibson Jr.
And now here's reporter Noah Barclay with the weather forecast.
Hello everyone, my name is Noah Barclay and welcome back to the weather. We have good news if you don't like hurricanes, because I don't know anyone that does. The water down here is completely cooled off from New Jersey and down because of an Arctic blast that has came down through Canada. The Gulf of Mexico is also completely cooled off. And as you'll see right now, hurricane season right here from June 1st to November 30th. We're not in that time frame, of course. It's January. It's way too cold for anything to be forming right now. Hurricane activity should be over really until the summer. You'll see it kind of ramp up a little bit in May, but June is where it really starts to ramp up. And that's why hurricane season starts on literally the first day of June. And as you'll see right now, we have good news for the weather right now. It drizzled a little bit before a few minutes ago, but right now it's going to stay relatively calm and clear. However, as we get later on into the week, it is going to start to ramp up again a little bit. As you'll see right now, or excuse me, later on in the week, you'll actually see that it's going to snow a little bit up in the Panhandle. Very unusual for any time in Florida, but nonetheless, that is exactly what is going to happen. That's because of an Arctic blast that has already actually kind of started. It's kind of coming down here more and more as time goes on, but it's going to come over into the Panhandle. It's not going to come down south. It's not strong enough for it to come all the way down south because of the jet stream not coming down that far. However, it is going to snow from Alabama, Mississippi in that area all the way to Georgia, and that is going to affect the Florida Panhandle, which is pretty unique and pretty cool if you're into snow. But if you move down here to get away from snow, probably bad news for you. Moving on to the 7-day forecast, you can see today it is going to rain. It already did drizzle a little bit. There's a little bit of a rain shower. 75% chance of rain for the rest of the day moving on. Tomorrow, 45% chance of rain. It's going to be cloudy all day regardless, even if it only ends up drizzling or not raining at all, because if there's only that 45% chance of rain, but it is going to be cloudy all day. However, Sunday, you do kind of get a break from that. It's going to be mostly cloudy to partly cloudy, one of the two. But as you can see, there is a little bit of sun, 0% chance of rain. But after that, it's going to be pretty muggy. Monday, Tuesday, a lot of rain, especially Tuesday, where it's predicted that Arctic blast is going to kind of lift a little bit out of here, and that's when it's going to affect the Florida Panhandle and start to snow there. But down here, that Arctic blast is going to start to go away. The temperature is going to kind of heat up a little bit again. As you can see, it's going to go up to 75, and it's going to rain a lot that day. Wednesday and Thursday, again, the Arctic blast is gone, but it doesn't stop it from being windy. Wednesday, it's not going to rain, but it is going to be windy. And then going into Thursday, no chance of rain, just muggy from the week, and then cloudy. It'll be 69 degrees that day, so you won't really need your jacket, but it will be cold maybe a little bit because of the clouds. Again, I'm Noah Barclay. Thank you very much. Back to you, Delaney.
Earlier today, over 800 students came together for the annual Lynn University Citizenship Project, where they assembled backpacks filled with essentials for foster children. Erna DeLise has the full story.
This is what outreach to our community looks like. Lynn University students and faculty coming together to prepare comfort cases to be sent to foster children across our area.
This is an event that we instituted this event after the tragedy in Haiti several years ago. It's over 10 years ago now. And Lynn University actually has a long history of volunteer work and even on an international level.
15 years ago, 4 students and 2 faculty members from Lynn University died in the massive earthquake that struck Haiti. They had gone there filled with volunteer spirit, working to improve lives.
It's been a wonderful experience. I even came back more to create more packing cases for these kids. They are lovely, lovely people, and the foster community is one of great heart and warm that I think a lot of people should spend their time in.
Inspiration to do more, to give back, part of the enduring spirit at Lynn University. This is Erna DeLise for iPulse.
The Spring Involvement Fair is a highly anticipated event where students who are looking to get more involved in Lynn's community have the chance to see what clubs are offered. Join us as we take a closer look. We're currently at the Lynn Spring Involvement Fair, where students have the opportunity to sign up for clubs they're interested in. While at the fair, Lynn's Abroad program was featured. I talked to Caroline, who's the advisor of the program.
So our office works with F1 students, international students, so that's one half of our office. So we also do study abroad. I kind of do all the logistical work before you go abroad.
The Involvement Fair also had new clubs this semester, such as an all-girls Christian club.
So we started Delight in October of 2023, which meant that we're just new, we're just starting out. And it's so exciting because this is the space where the girls get to be vulnerable. It's a safe space. It's one of the very few times on campus and the only times on campus when they actually get to just talk about themselves and then interact with biblical principles as well. So we're tying in Jesus into all these different things, and we're not making it intimidating in a sense where they feel like they have to be Christian to come. The idea is that you come however you are, and then after that, we see where it goes from there.
I talked to the students attending the event, seeing what their thoughts are about the clubs we have to offer.
Currently, I'm interested in the game club. I haven't signed up for anything yet, and then I'm currently looking at the iPulse for the broadcast side.
Lynn has a vast variety of clubs to offer. I'm Allison Wallace, reporting for iPulse Live.
Come join iPulse! The Student Wellness and Health Promotions Office at Lynn University serves as a valuable resource for students. They offer a variety of counseling services for those struggling with mental health. Recently, they educated students on responsible alcohol habits and effective stress management. Lisette Guillen reports.
On October 15th, the Student Wellness and Health Promotions taught students about alcohol consumption. They made sure to teach about it in an engaging way.
This event is basically promoting alcohol awareness. So basically what we do is we take the cups and then you have to pour in what you think is a shot. And then after you pour in what you think is a shot, you get the actual shot glass and you pour it in and then you see if it's a shot or not.
According to the 2023 National Survey on Drug Use and Health, 33.1% of people aged 12 to 20 in the U.S. have had at least one drink in their lifetime. However, there are dangers to underage drinking.
If you're underage, you shouldn't be drinking, but a lot of people don't know their limits, so they can get really drunk, which is bad. I'd say driving. A lot of people think that they can drive a car under the influence of alcohol without actually realizing how intoxicated they actually are. And the fact that a lot of students on campus aren't aware of these problems. So our goal here is to just try and spread information and make sure that all students at Lynn are safe.
In addition, alcohol can lead to feelings of stress. However, Student Wellness also made sure to help students de-stress with a fun coloring activity. According to the Mayo Clinic of Health, coloring is a healthy way of relieving stress as it calms the brain and helps manage addiction.
I think it's just relaxes me. I like to do stuff that will take my mind off things. I think the pressure of getting good grades, being in college, making friends, I think all of that can be a little bit stressful, especially for freshman years.
If you or someone you know is struggling with alcohol misuse or simply want to talk to someone because you are stressed, please call 561-237-7237. I'm Lisette Guillen for iPulse.
In more Lynn news, Knights Under Christ is a Christian organization on campus that comes together through faith and fellowship. The group focuses on spiritual growth and building meaningful connections. Here is reporter Swanson Gibson Jr. with more details.
Knights Under Christ, a community at Lynn University where young Christians seek spiritual growth and fellowship. One evening, numerous Lynn students convened in Landgren Chapel, discussing biblical ideologies and how they have impacted their lives for the better. Attendees also had moments of prayer and scripture reading while listening to the doctrine. Knights Under Christ President Thaddeus Fusco discussed the aim of this organization.
So really our aim with the club really is just to
get people as close as possible to Christ. We really just want to help these people grow in God, grow in the Word, grow with the Bible, and just really just grow with God. You know, with college, we have a lot of these problems with our sin. We're brought into a whole new area for most of us. We're brought with all these new people. We're excited. We want to go out. We want to do these things that aren't really good for us, but we're trying to help these people stay close with God and get more connected with Him. It's been really crazy these past 2 weeks. Especially 3-4 weeks ago, we were having about 10 to about 15 people usually on average, and now this meeting we had almost 40. That's by far our biggest meeting that I've seen. And last week we had just over, I think we had about 26 or 27 last week. So it's really growing a lot. We're trying to actually just get out there, help spread the word to people, because a lot of people don't know about the group yet. So we went around, and we're just going to keep growing through that. So hope to see a lot more next week too.
Aiden Sandys, an attendee, shared his perspective on the experience.
Being here honestly really felt great. I'm a pretty devout Roman Catholic back at home, so having this Knights Under Christ movement was a very much breath of fresh air for me. I would say it's not only just a social gathering about learning more of the faith, learning more about Christ, making that walk with God more accessible on campus, but I would say it's also a great social gathering movement too, in that you get to meet new people who might even have the same faith or likings as you, and it's just such a great experience to meet them.
Knights Under Christ has meetings every Thursday from 8 to 9 p.m. in Lynn's Langdon Chapel. Reporting for iPulse News, I'm Swanson Gibson Jr.
Lynn Athletics ended their fall semester with 2 NCAA national championships, one from the women's volleyball team and another from the men's soccer team. Here is reporter Antonio Aponte with more details on Lynn's current achievements, as well as the biggest stories from the professional sports world.
Lynn University Athletics has had a stellar season, with both the women's volleyball and men's soccer teams winning Division II national championships. Men's basketball also recently made history, setting a program record after sinking 21 three-pointers in a 104-71 victory over Barry. The team is now 11-4 overall and 6-3 in conference play. Now turning to the national stage, the College Football National Championship is on January 20th, featuring Notre Dame and Ohio State. The Buckeyes, ranked 6th in the final AP poll, were able to make the playoffs due to the new playoff format. In the divisional round in the NFL, the Texans take on the Chiefs, the Commanders will play the Lions, the Rams will meet the Eagles, and the Ravens will take on the Bills. All teams are fighting for a spot in their conference championships. In Miami, off-the-field drama continues with the Dolphins. Tyreek Hill has expressed a desire to leave the team due to lack of success throughout the season. The Miami Heat are also facing turmoil as Jimmy Butler requested a trade and was suspended for 7 games due to behavior detrimental to the team. The Heat have been actively trying to move Butler, but trade talks have stalled. And finally, the Florida Panthers are 26-17-3 with a strong defense this year, but some inconsistency in the offense. Despite challenges, they remain a playoff contender and are aiming for their 3rd straight Stanley Cup appearance. That's all for sports. I'm Antonio Ponte reporting for iPulse News.
Every year, Professor Mark Ludio runs a study abroad trip to Japan. Last year, students from the College of Communication and Design and the College of Communication of Business and Management embarked on the journey. Our reporter Hunter Rossi went on the trip and produced a short documentary about it. Here's an excerpt from it, and you can find the full story on YouTube.
今日も新幹線をご利用くださいましてありがとうございます。
Last summer, myself and other Lynn students traveled on a 2-week study abroad trip to Japan. We traveled to 6 cities throughout the 2 weeks, starting with the heart of the country, Tokyo. Tokyo brought a rich history of old and new places, from the Imperial Palace to the electric streets of Shibuya.
Tokyo, it's the capital, and it is the cultural capital right now of the 21st century of all of Asia, if not the world. I mean, there's so much happening there, be it fashion, be it the industry, business, animation, any of the stuff that's being produced in Japan really basically comes out of Tokyo. It's world's biggest city, largest city, never sleeps, so much going on. The Japanese will say, well, there's Tokyo and there's Japan. And the two are really quite distinct and different from each other. So you must be aware that Tokyo is an anomaly in some ways. It's its own thing. It has its own kind of identity. Japan is really something other than Tokyo. And in order to experience that, you have to travel. And what better place to travel than the ancient capital of Kyoto? Kyoto is where the emperor resided for thousands of years, where all the cultural customs of, say, from everything from tea ceremony to, calligraphy to the martial arts, all were birthed there. And it's kind of the hub of ancient Japan. So, I mean, everyone will tell you have to go to Kyoto because it's the cultural capital, the ancient capital, where what Japan is known for in terms of its art forms were birthed.
Back in Tokyo, students had the chance to practice their respective majors and explore freely. The 2-week trip was life-changing. We all got to feel what it was like to eat, sleep, live, and breathe among the Japanese and experience the culture like no other. Many, like myself, fell in love with the country and gained a deep appreciation for the culture and lifestyle. The group has nothing but thanks for Sensei Lirio for showing us around the country.
That's a wrap for our first show back for the new semester and new year. We hope you enjoyed watching.
Stay tuned for more updates by following us on social media. Have a wonderful weekend.